call the regular council meeting to order on Tuesday, June 10th, 2014 at 8:04 p.m. in the Twinsburg Government Center. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Here.
Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
Mr. Yates?
Here.
Mr. Roden?
Here.
Mr. Sorese?
Here.
Mr. Fury?
Here.
Mr. McDermott?
Here.
Please join us in the invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Mr. Roden.
Father, we seek your guidance for the business that is before us and planning for the future of the city of Twinsburg. Give us vision. Guide us to make decisions that are not self-serving but for the betterment of our community so we can continue to move in a positive direction. Amen.
Okay, I need approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of May 27th, 2014. Are there any changes or corrections? Okay, with none, the minutes stand as written. We have no awards or presentations to do, right, Shannon? How about any audience participation?
There is none.
Okay. Then we'll begin with council communication and committee reports. Mr. Yates?
Yes, thank you. The Planning Commission is going to meet on June 16th and again on June 30th. The summer months, I know they try to put more meetings on their schedule because a lot more development and stuff comes before them. However, just still, for those that want to attend, watch the website and look for any cancellations. But as of right now, those two meetings are going forward. Just a couple of things I want to talk about. From Parks and Rec standpoint, we had our annual duathlon this past weekend. It was a great race, great day. We still had, I think, around 150 participants. I hope this is a race that we can continue to keep in the city because I think, you know, it's nice to have 5Ks and other running events, but to have a multi-sport event, you know, the police did a great job. You know, we take up a lot of the streets, so it was just a really well-run event, and I just want to congratulate Derek on that. Rock the Park starts off this weekend, so we've got Stone Pony that's coming. So I believe that's Friday night. And then just another announcement that the track team, I know they've got their banquet going on right now, but there was several qualifiers for the state meet that ran this past weekend. And then there's a group of kids that are going to a national meet down in South Carolina. So I just want to wish them luck and congratulate them on a great season. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Roden?
Yeah, the Environmental Commission has not met, but I wanted to kind of update. The planting and vegetables of seeds and everything from the Sprouting Gardeners has begun and was completed actually this past weekend with the Girl Scouts. And they, if you were interested in looking at where they're at plots 85 and 86. So good luck to them on keeping that up because I did it last time. It was pretty difficult to maintain. And then also just a reminder, on Saturday, June 14th, is free shredding day for all Twinsburg residents from 9 a.m. to noon. You can bring up to 5 banker boxes full of papers to be shredded, and then you can also watch your papers being shredded on site. The shredding is free, and it's sponsored by Kent State Regional Academic Center, and it'll be at the Kent State Regional Academic Center on Creekside. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Scafidi?
Thank you. Good evening. My committees have not met. However, starting tomorrow, BZA will meet up here at the City Hall at 6:30, and then they'll meet again on the 18th, the following Wednesday at 6:30 as well. Finance, I guess, has not met, and that's it. My other committees haven't met, so that's the end of my report.
Okay, my committees have not met. So I'll move on to Mr. Fury.
No report this evening, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sorese?
Thank you. My committees really haven't met, but I wanted to mention to Mr. Roden, I did get a call from the Girl Scouts who are interested in getting involved in recycling, and I mentioned to them about the Environmental Committee, and I actually connected them with Taste of Twinsburg, which is coming up next weekend, and Rock the Park, and I think they're going to be able to collect cans and recycle at those events. So I just wanted to mention to you that that had happened.
Good.
And that's all that I have. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. McDermott.
I have no report this evening.
Okay, thank you. I did want to mention that before our next meeting, we will be interviewing the teen reps for the environmental committee. So just if you want to put that on your schedule. And I had a couple of things here from the mayor that she wanted me to mention. One of them is the Taste of Twinsburg that's coming up Saturday, June 21st, from 2 to 8 on Twinsburg Township Square, presented by Joanne McFerrin group. So it sounds like it's going to be quite an event. There's going to be more than 15 of the area's best restaurants. The Roxino main stage will be rocking down in the square. There'll be a kid zone, a VIP tent with Blue Canyon, Brewster's, D'Angelo's, Marcelitas. The tickets are now on sale. They're $30 each, or $40 the day of the event. And in the evening, they're going to have a movie night on the square as well. So right now, there are more than 50 local businesses and organizations participating. So it sounds like this is really taking off, this event. So again, that's Saturday, June 21st from 2 to 8.
The prices you mentioned are for the VIP tickets.
Yes, yeah, that's just the VIP. Right, right.
Free entry otherwise.
Yeah, it sounds like quite an event. Another thing here to mention is Walk with the Doc, the Family Fun Series. Saturday, June 14th at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. at Dodge by the bike path there. There's one on Saturday, July 19th and Saturday, August 9th, and they're all at 8:30. And it's a time for the families to go take a walk with the doc. Grab your kids, join the Cleveland Clinic pediatric doctors, and just walk. So it's free to all, and it really is a great event. I see quite a few families doing this. So if you have a chance, you may want to step out and do that. And that's all I have from the mayor. Any department head now reports. Karen?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. We have received our first advanced distribution for the month of June. I'll give a full report on that. We are down, but again, I want to wait until we get our second distribution to give the final numbers for that. Just an FYI, the Finance Department is doing a second training on our new software system. Payroll was on this past Monday, and then this Friday, it's going to be with the department heads to go back over the process, any questions, to kind of tighten up the training or any understanding that they want to get clarified. It will be this Friday. And the auditors have indicated to me that they have pretty much wrapped up the audit as far as the work papers, and it's on for review before it gets submitted for the auditors to review. So I'll keep you updated on that, and I'll also be sending an email to you, or probably schedule a finance committee to get together what time to do a discussion on the audit. I will let you know well in advance. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Chief?
Good evening. During the month of January, or the month of May, the City of Twinsburg Communications Center generated 2,267 calls for service among the Twinsburg Police and Fire Departments and the Reminderville Police and Fire Departments. Officers arrested or cited 133 suspects into court on 180 different counts. Officers issued 237 written warnings and 12 parking citations. Officers investigated 46 traffic crash reports, of which 12 were injury crashes, 6 were on private property, and none were fatal. We welcomed Matthew Pittman to our department, started a couple weeks ago as our newest full-time officer. He's a Ravenna native, he's a U.S. Army veteran, and we will be bringing him before you sometime soon for a ceremonial oath of office. And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Chris Campbell?
Good evening, Council. The Public Works crews are still catching up a little bit on their spring work, but they're getting there. Doing the ball field maintenance and green space grass cutting and what have you. But it's coming along pretty good. The rains have stopped temporarily, so we're doing pretty good there. Branch chipping was completed for the month of May. We had in May we had 472 stops. In June, which actually was completed yesterday, we were up to 551 stops. So that program's getting off and running. The next scheduled pickup is Monday, July 7th. So it's taken us about a week, six or 7 days maybe to get through that program. So we asked residents to get to put those branches out early. Street sweeping, we had some problems with their sweeper. We've had that repaired, and we've gone through the city one time. That is complete. Crack sealing that we usually do this time of year, actually, we're probably in full swing with that usually, but because of the rains, we're going to delay that till the fall. But we should be able to get through that program as well. Working on the stormwater system, the sanitary system, making repairs, cleaning the systems because of the rain. We've repaired some catch basins. We've cleaned some ditch lines. So trying to keep that stormwater system as free from debris as possible to keep that rolling. So that's going pretty well. Again, sanitary work. We're also cleaning sewer lines. We're up in Ethan's Green, and we'll probably be there for some time to come. And the microturbine continues to go well. We had some earlier issues. We had the repairs made to that, and so that is working well again. So we're generating electricity and saving some natural gas costs as well. And that's my report.
Thank you. Chris, do you do the spraying, bee spraying up at the pavilions there at Liberty Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't sure if that was you or Parks and Rec that took care of that.
Yep. Well,
Okay,
we are
great.
Parks and Rec now. So.
Oh, that's right, they're combined, all right. I meant
Yes.
Derek, yeah, okay.
Yeah. They
Okay.
just completed it the other day. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other department reports?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chief. For the month of May, the fire department responded to 177 calls for service, which brings our year total up to 888, which is about 10% behind where we were at this point last year. From the fire prevention standpoint, we've completed 111 inspections in the past month. We had 5 fire education sessions, and we opened 3 fire investigations, and we were also able to close those investigations through the course of the month. We completed 44 sessions of training of varying types. And at this point, the fire department continues to flush hydrants in the city and the township. We're over 70% completed at this time and should finish well before the end of June, which is our set goal anyway. And hopefully by the next council meeting, we'll be able to announce a new lieutenant promotion. And we continue to evaluate candidates for full-time firefighter medic positions that are opening up. And that's my report.
Thank you.
One quick question. Who paints our fire hydrants? Does the fire department?
Service department takes care of painting the fire hydrants.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm kidding.
Good evening.
Good evening.
One thing about going last is a couple people have already announced some of my announcements, but our employee appreciation picnic is not this Thursday, but June 19th at Glen Eagles Pavilion at 11:30. So all of you are invited. I met with our workers' comp managed care organization and our third-party administrators last week for our quarterly update, and I'm happy to report that there are no major active claims at this time. So thank you to our employees for working safely. And then the FIT committee met today. The FIT is what Maureen mentioned that the mayor had talked about, Walk with the Doc. For those who don't know, FIT stands for Fit in Twinsburg, and it's a health and wellness initiative between the city and the Cleveland Clinic. And the initiative sponsors various health-related activities and programs for city employees and for the general public. And then 2 of the upcoming special events include the special pediatric theme for 3 of the 4 Walk with the Doc sessions. The Walk with the Doc sessions are actually every Saturday at 9:30 in the summer up behind Dodge at the pavilion. And they start off with like a 10-minute presentation from the doctor, that different ones every week. And then people can walk along the path for about 1.5 miles. They go down to the park and back. and kind of walk with the doc and maybe ask questions. And so those 3 dates that you mentioned, June 14th, July 19th, and August 9th, they're going to have a pediatrician. So it's more family oriented, so. Also, the FIT Initiative is holding our second biannual health screening events for city employees that will be held July 8th in the jury room here at City Hall from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And on July 9th, the screenings will be at the fitness center from 4 to 7 for the general public. And those are like, blood pressure, glucose, those kinds of screenings are free. In the area of the IT department, the switches and upgrades are completed, and the new servers are now being brought online. This will help to ensure a more stable environment for our installations and will improve functionality as well as kind of safeguard some of our disaster recovery capabilities. Civil service meeting is this Thursday, June 12th at 8 a.m. Civil Service is moving through the process of hiring a firefighter and also looking at lieutenant promotions. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure if we have anybody else here. Okay, that's the end of the end of our department head reports, and we'll move on to legislation. First, we have ordinance 41, 2014. Shannon?
An ordinance amending the current year appropriations for the various general revenue accounts as established in Ordinance 19, 2014, the appropriation ordinance for the City of Twinsburg for the year 2014.
Okay, this is on its third and final reading. I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 41, 2014. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Fury. Any discussion?
This adds some money to a fund that we have where we have to reimburse the school system for economic development programs as the top, and others where we give abatements to bring businesses in, which have increased our income tax on these programs from about 7 million to about 50 million in total income tax over the last few years. So the programs are worthwhile, and this is just our way of paying back the school system for participating in these agreements.
Any other discussion? Thank you. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 41, 2014 passes by a 7-0 vote. Next, we have ordinance 50, 2014. Shannon?
An ordinance authorizing the lease of 2 vehicles through Ganley Ford Incorporated for use by the police department.
Okay, this is also on its third and final reading. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 50, 2014.
I'll
I'm
second.
sorry.
Chief
can
Noga
make-
asked to add the emergency
Do
clause to waive the
amendment
30
after you
days.
second it.
Oh, I can do the amendment now.
Sure.
Okay.
After it becomes a,
All right, so I made the motion, he seconded, now I'm going to make an amendment to that, is that what you're saying?
you make a motion to amend it to include a standard emergency clause.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to amend it to include the standard emergency clause.
I'll second that.
All right. I made the motion, Mr. Scafidi seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Sorese seconded.
And, well, they both yielded, I don't know who did.
Okay. Mr.
The reason for the emergency is the police chief asked that we get these leases done quickly so the mayor can sign them, so they can get the cars on order.
Right, but this has been read, this is the third
3
reading.
times,
Yes,
right. Mhm.
yeah.
And
Thank
was
you,
approved
Chief.
by the Capital Improvement Board.
Right, right. Any other discussion? Okay, Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 50, 2014 passes by a 7-0 vote. No, the amended ordinance 50.
No.
Yeah, so now you have to suspend the rules.
Oh, now I need to suspend the, okay, I apologize. Sorry. At this time, I'd like to suspend the rules on ordinance 50, 2014, and place it on its third and final reading, which it already was, and declare it an emergency.
I'll
Is-
second.
Okay, I made the motion, it was seconded by Mr. Fury. Any discussion? Okay. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 50, 2014 passes as an emergency by a 7-0 vote. Okay, the next resolutions we have are the recommended changes to the charter from the Charter Review Committee to go to the ballot. So we are going to go ahead and read those. Okay, first we have Resolution 53, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Article 3 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding council term.
Thank you. Next, we have Resolution 54, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Article 4 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding vacancy of the office of mayor.
Okay, that was its second reading. Next is Resolution 55, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Section 4.05A of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding the powers of the mayor.
Also its second reading. Next is Resolution 56, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Section 4.05B of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding the powers of the mayor.
Okay, also on its second reading. Next is Resolution 57, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Section 7.05 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding the Civil Service Commission.
Okay, also its second reading. Next, we have Resolution 58, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Section 7.12 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Also on its second reading. Next, we have Resolution 59, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Section 7A.01 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg regarding changes to zoning and the zoning of annexed land.
Okay, also on its second reading. Now we have, I'm losing my place here, Resolution 60, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Section 8.01 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg, repealing the primary election for the office of mayor.
And finally, we have Resolution 61, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution requesting and authorizing the Summit County Board of Elections to place upon the City of Twinsburg ballot at the general election of November 4th, 2014, certain proposed amendments to Article 12 of the Charter of the City of Twinsburg permitting the use of electronic notification.
Okay, that's fine. That's the second reading as well. Thank you, Shannon. Now we have Ordinance 65, 2014. Shannon?
An ordinance adopting the tax budget of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2015, and submitting the same to the county auditor.
That's the first reading on that. Next, we have Ordinance 66, 2014.
An ordinance approving the recodification, editing, and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Twinsburg, Ohio.
Okay. And now we have ordinance 67, 2014.
An ordinance amending the current year appropriations for the various special revenue accounts as established in Ordinance 19, 2014, the appropriations ordinance for the City of Twinsburg for the year 2014, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules on ordinance 67, 2014, place it on its third and final reading, and declare it an emergency. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I made the motion. Mr. Sorese seconded. Any discussion?
The reason for the emergency is this adds some money, just under $10,000 to a budget line in the police department to pay the newly promoted captains.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Okay, emergency clause passes. Ordinance 67, 2014. Now I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 67, 2014 as an emergency. Is there a second?
So moved.
Okay, I made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Sorese. Any discussion?
Yeah, I do have one clarification. I think Mr. Fury was confused with this ordinance opposed to others. This was for a line item error that was made with the capital budget with regards to the police vehicles.
I'm sorry. You're correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that? Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 67, 2014 passes by a 7-0 vote as an emergency. Next, we have resolution 68, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution authorizing the city engineer to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement Program for the Chamberlain Road sanitary improvements and to execute contracts as required.
Okay. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 68, 2014. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I made the motion. Mr. Roden, second. I'm sorry. Shannon, oh, any discussion? Discussion on this? Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Resolution 68, 2014 passes as set by a 7-0 vote. Next, we have resolution 69, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution authorizing the city engineer to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement Program for the Rolling Acres subdivision Phase 4 improvements and to execute contracts as required.
This time, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 69, 2014. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I made the motion. Mr. Sorese seconded. Any discussion? Okay, Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Resolution 69, 2014 passes by a 7-0 vote. Finally, we have resolution 70, 2014. Shannon?
A resolution of cooperation between the City of Twinsburg and the Village of Glen Willow to explore the feasibility of constructing a trail connecting Glen Meadow Park to Bond Street.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 70, 2014. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Yates. Any discussion?
Yes, Council President. Although I think this is a very worthy and worthwhile project, I will be abstaining from this vote tonight due to my employment with the Village of Glen Willow as well.
And this particular resolution is just looking at the feasibility of connecting Glen Meadow Park to Bond Street with a new trail to continue to enhance the trail system that runs you know, within and between the communities.
Anything else? Any further discussion?
I noticed.
None. Okay, Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Roden?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Abstain.
Okay, Resolution 70, 2014 passes by a 6-0 vote. Okay, that's the end of our legislation. Now we're moving on to unfinished business, new business, and miscellaneous. Mr. McDermott?
I have nothing this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Sorese?
Nothing here, thanks.
Mr. Fury?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Okay. I would one more time like to throw out a special thank you to our Charter Review Committee for the amount of work they put in the last, 6 months, and how much I appreciate them. That's all I have. Mr. Scafidi?
I have nothing further tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Roden?
Thank you. I have nothing this evening.
And Mr. Yates?
Nothing this evening.
Nothing. Mr. Maestros?
Nothing, thank you.
Shannon?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. All right, with no further business and no need for executive session, I would like to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.